All right, there we go. All right. Hi, friends. It's Amy from thecrazycraftlady.com. I've been trying to shoot more video tutorials for you guys. Wow, my lighting is really crazy. I'm going to take that one away. I've been trying to shoot more video tutorials for you guys lately, but all that means is that I'm just super behind on editing. So I'm just going to do this live because I don't have time to edit this tutorial. We're going to make some quick chalkboard art. So using my Cricut is like my new favorite way to make chalkboard art. It's gonna be backwards, but I made this first day of kindergarten sign for my twins who just started kindergarten. And so we're gonna make a pumpkin patch chalkboard sign really quick. So I made a template for you guys. I'm gonna post a link to the free cut file in the comments section. I'll post it, but it's just a you pick pumpkin patch that I cut out on. I'm actually trying a new type of vinyl. So before I would just use kind of like whatever temporary peel and stick vinyl I had left over in any color because you're just using it as a stencil. But I recently finally made my Amazon order and I ordered actual stencil vinyl. So I'm hoping it won't be as sticky as the other vinyl on the chalkboard and might be a little bit easier to use. So I'm just weeding out, I already cut my little stencil here. So I'm just weeding out all the little pieces. And I'll just move my camera down a little bit so you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. So yeah, so I've done a couple of these on the blog already. The first one that I did was an apple orchard stencil, and that is on the blog at thecrazycraftlady.com if you just do a search for apple orchard or apple orchard stencil. That should be there for you. And then I made the back to school one. And I actually have templates for you guys for my first day of kindergarten all the way through 12th grade that you can customize for your kiddos. So check that out or pin it for next year. So I'm just gonna weed out my pumpkins and then my words for my pumpkin patch. So you can see. There we go. Oh, we have a question. Hi, sure, I'm looking forward to getting me a Cricut machine. Any recommendations? I have the Cricut Explore Air 2, which I really like. I bought mine last year. I actually was really late to the Cricut bandwagon. I actually didn't get one till last year. It was my Black Friday purchase after Thanksgiving. And I bought that one. I know there's the new one, the Cricut Maker, which you can cut like wood and there's more like fancy cutting options, but for the crafts that I make, because I make a lot of signs, I've been really happy with my Cricut Explore. And so hopefully I'll be able to start sharing more tutorials with you guys and projects as I make them. I'll give you a sneak peek since you guys are watching me live. So I actually just used my Cricut to make a fabric marker stencil for so we just took my kids for their dental checkup and they have loose teeth. Their first ever, because they're 6, loose teeth. So I made these tooth fairy pouches for them so when they lose their first teeth, the tooth fairy will be ready. So I will hopefully share a tutorial with you. I made a stencil with my Cricut and then I used fabric markers to fill in the stencil so I could make that pattern on those little pouches. All right, there we go. So my pumpkin patch, so sorry, it's backwards. Okay, so this is my You Pick pumpkin patch stencil. And then, so, okay, if you wanna know what kind of stencil vinyl, I just ordered this off Amazon because it was like a huge roll because I know I'm gonna use a lot of it and it was cheaper. I always look at I always divide out to find like the price per foot because it always adds up. And so then I'm going to use my transfer tape here. To transfer this over onto my little chalkboard, which I will leave a link to a tutorial with all of the exact supplies that I use, including my cute little chalkboard here. So we're just going to transfer this onto the chalkboard, and then the fun part, we're going to fill it in with liquid chalk markers. Okay. How am I doing on time? Oh, I have 19 minutes, you guys. My kids and I are flying out tomorrow night to Seattle to visit my sister and her family because it's teacher convention here in Minnesota. And at 8:05, I have to log on to delta.com and check in and hopefully, cross my fingers, get seats together. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to like turn on the waterworks with the gate agent or talk sweet to someone on the plane so that we can all sit together. Okay, so then now I'm transferring the stencil onto the transfer tape, and you just want to make sure that the little pieces, like the insides of like the pea and pumpkin and these little ribbons inside here, you don't want those to get left behind on the white sheet of paper. So you want to make sure that as you peel this white paper back, that you do it slowly and methodically, like start in one corner and work your way out to the other corner so that all the tiny little pieces transfer over. Because the last thing you want is to realize you made chalk art and the inside of an O is missing, or the little triangle and the A is gone. It's just, those are always really hard to track down after the fact. Kind of, it's a little tricky, but with practice, like I showed you guys those tooth fairy pouches that I made. That was some really intricate work, and I made that happen. So with a little bit of practice, okay, that guy doesn't wanna, and I don't really worry about touching the stencil at all because you want the vinyl to kind of lose a little bit of its stick, because you don't want it to like permanently adhere to the chalkboard. You just want it to be on there long enough that you can draw your chalk art. Okay, so there we go. It's on the transfer tape, and now I'm gonna, this is like the most nerve-wracking part, is getting this straight on the chalkboard. So lay this flat, smooth it onto the chalkboard. There we go. And then we're gonna just slowly peel our transfer tape back. And once again, make sure that the P's and the A's and the little lines on the pumpkin all stay put. If you're just tuning in, I am making a pumpkin patch little chalkboard art. I have a free template, PNG template that you can download, and I'm going to post it in a blog post immediately after this, or after I check in on delta.com, whichever comes before 8:05. And so you can download the free template and use for your own projects. You can customize it to any size you want. I'm using a little 9x7 chalkboard, which I bought online, and I will post the link to the source for the chalkboard in my tutorial as well. So I'm just smoothing around the edges, around the letters and stuff, so there's no like real bubbles. You don't want to push down too much because you still want to be able to take you want to peel the vinyl off when it's all done. So then the fun part is liquid chalk markers. I just realized that my orange looks kind of neon, so this might not be as farmhouse as I want it to look, but you guys will get the point. So we're gonna start with white. Give it a shake, test it on like a piece of scrap paper or something, just to make sure that the liquid is flowing. And then you're just gonna scribble. I'm gonna try this, do this backwards. Back and forth over all your letters. And it doesn't have to be perfect. There can be like a couple like little gaps between the lines that you scribble. That's totally fine. You just want to kind of get up into all the edges. So I'm going to do all my text in white, and then I think I'm going to make, yeah, see how fast this goes? Like back and forth, and then I'm going to do, I think, orange and green for my pumpkins. Okay. The big thing is you just want to make sure you get like into the far corners, otherwise your letters are going to look a little bit cut off. So I've got You Pick Pumpkin Patch in white, and then I've got orange for my pumpkin. Yeah, this is going to be kind of bright. If I had this to do over again, I probably would have gone to the craft store and picked out a different liquid chalk marker, but that's okay. Fill this all in. And see, you can make it as kind of like messy or as even as you want. It's a little bit more important to make everything more filled in on the letters so that people can actually read what you're writing, but on stuff like pictures, you can get a little bit, I guess, more abstract. And then I'm just going to take green, and I'm going to give green stems, make a little swoosh inside my stencil, inside the stem part. Okay, now, because we're live, don't do what I'm about to do right now. Do as I say, not as I do. Wait for this to dry. Because it's really tricky to peel this off when all your liquid chalk is wet without leaving smudge marks. But I'm an impatient crafter and we're live and I don't want to make you guys wait. So I'm going to be super, super careful. And I'm going to peel away, and I'm actually going to cut that. Okay. Peel away my stencil. Okay. This is also when you want to very carefully use your weeding tool to take out, you know, the insides of those letters and the veins on the pumpkins. That. Hey. See, you get a little bit more bleeding when you don't wait for it to dry, but that's okay. I'm not going to do the insides of the pumpkins. I will wait and I'll post a picture in the comments for you guys, but see, it's backwards. Sorry. I don't know how to make things not be backwards on Facebook Live. If anyone knows how to fix that, please leave a comment and let me know. But, so I'm just going to keep very carefully weeding out the rest of my little stencil pieces, which if it were dry I wouldn't have to worry about getting liquid chalk on my fingers. And so you can just do this with my little Cricut stencil, which I'm going to leave for you in the comments, the full tutorial with the blog post with all of the exact supplies that I used in this project, as well as the free stencil file. You can see here. I did one pumpkin. See, how cute is that? Stencil file and my supply list all at thecrazycraftlady.com. So I'm going to go, ooh, I have 10 more minutes still. I have to check in for my flight so I can get that blog post up and that link shared. Thanks everyone for joining me. Happy crafting.